All right, it looks like we're live, we're recording, and we're here today with a guy who I'm very excited to talk to, Mr. Akbar Sheikh. How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No, I'm stoked. I really am. I'm doing great. And I've been in the mix and in your world for quite a while now. One of the things that captivated me and made me really want to chat with you is you have a true built from scratch story, and I just feel like we can't put that out there enough, to let people know what's possible, and that there's so much hype, and because of the hype, so much suspicion in the online place, the online marketplace. I think that one of the unintended side effects is that we can sort of stop trusting anyone that they did it the hard way or from scratch.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
I think it's actually a fascinating topic you bring up because yeah, okay, well, we started our business. We started with one client. When I started my business a few years ago in ClickFunnels as my coaching business, I didn't really have any money in my bank account. I was living check to check. Matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, I was slightly in debt.
Yeah.
My first client was $5,000, and it just grew from there. Now, is that a from the scratch story? Yes. However, I think the problem is, and I think this is a severe problem that our industry has. I think we separate the internet from reality.
Mm.
I feel like people treat the internet like you see, the internet's relatively new,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
because the internet actually was not popularized until actually the iPhone came out
Right.
and people got to browse on their phone. Um, so the internet's a relatively new technology, actually. So a lot of people are viewing, here's the problem. People are viewing business, online business as one thing and regular business as
Yeah.
another thing.
Yeah.
The problem is that's not the case.
Right.
Business is business is business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I built my business from scratch, but guess what? I did it online,
Mm-hmm.
but my dad did the same thing offline. He
Right.
came to this country. He was born in Africa, grew up in England for a while, came over here. They came with nothing. They came with nothing. They had a little bit of jewelry, or not. When I say jewelry, I mean like regular, very low end watches, like worth nothing. They put up a table on the street in New York and sell. Like, you go to New York, you see those people selling
Yeah.
things on the table.
Yeah.
That was my dad selling like a couple $100 worth of stuff. That's all they had, a couple $100, whatever it was. It grew into these retail empires. Not only my dad, but his brothers and his sisters, they all got into business. So I think most people build their business from scratch. Yes, a good amount. Some people inherit it. They
Mm-hmm.
inherit businesses.
Yeah.
No, I didn't inherit a business. My dad didn't inherit a business. My brother has this. So yeah, it's true. I did build it from scratch.
Yeah.
I guess it's interesting to people because it's online, and that's still a new concept, I suppose.
Maybe it is the online component, and in fact, as you say it, I really agree with you.
Yeah.
We ascribe a certain set of rules, scrutiny, and judgment to the online space that we wouldn't ascribe to the brick and mortar space, right?
Yeah, yeah, and this is, I think this is a flaw in the way we're thinking. We should
Yeah.
not be separating the two.
Right.
Business fundamentals are business fundamentals are business fundamentals. I
Yeah.
watch that show. I used to watch, or I've seen a few episodes of Hell's Kitchen
Mm-hmm.
with Chef Gordon Ramsay, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Each episode is the same freaking thing. If you
Yeah.
notice,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all these businesses are failing. All these restaurants are failing. He's going in there, and I feel like this is kind of what I do in the online world. Same five problems. Food stinks, service stinks, decor stinks, kitchen's filthy.
Right.
You have no idea how to market yourself. It's the
Right.
same five things in every single episode.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for a funnel. It's the same five things. Your testimonies suck. Your messaging is not clear. I have no idea what you're doing. There's no likable authority. There's no wow factor, and there's less than zero scarcity. It's the same thing.
That's beautiful.
But
Hey,
those ethical principles of persuasion, I don't mean to interrupt you. Those
yeah.
ethical principles of persuasion, those are classic. Those are timeless. It's just that, and you see, like I don't teach bot stuff, for example,
Mm-hmm.
because bot technology is going to come and go, just like
Okay.
so many technologies have come and go. I concentrate on the fundamentals of business because
Excellent.
that will outlive any technology. And that has outlived any technology.
I talk about that a lot myself. In fact, the live stream I did earlier today was all about how the fundamentals don't change.
Yeah.
Right. If you want to sell your coaching program, help people lose weight, whatever it is, you've got to do 4 basic things. You got to find an audience. I say find and grow an audience. You got to develop trust with that audience. You have to make a clean, clear, simple offer to that audience that matches their needs, and then you have to deliver.
It's just kind of that easy, isn't it? Though I mean, it really is. That the problem is here's the problem. You're absolutely right. I always tell people you got to do 3 things a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Build an audience, cultivate an audience, monetize an audience, right?
Yeah,
and then
there you go.
You kind of branched out a little better. But here's the thing. Here's the problem with that: shiny objects.
Yeah, man.
Because the reality is, you hit a 7-figure business, bro. If that's your goal,
yeah,
really, technically, just need 1 offer.
Mm-hmm.
1 source of traffic, 1 funnel.
Yeah.
If you want to be a 7-figure coach, 7-figure business, whatever,
yeah,
that's all you need. Which is a beautiful and sexy thing because there's very few moving parts.
Yeah.
So now we know, okay, we have to get this funnel right. We got to get this offer right. We got to get this traffic right. Pretty simplistic.
Yeah.
The problem is these expert outside marketers are always throwing something at our way, making us feel like we're missing something.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a prime example. Went to this mastermind. I'm a coach. I have a coaching business.
Sure.
I coach coaches. I teach people how to launch a coaching business. Okay. This guy's a speaker and does a similar thing as what I do. And he keeps talking about systems, procedures, SOPs. And he's talking about, I have a director of technology and I have what was it? I have I have a president of technology and a director of implementation. And I'm like, wait a minute. We do pretty much the same thing. I don't have any of that stuff.
Right.
What am I missing out on?
Yeah.
Right. So now watch this. I go up to him. I'm like, bro, or I'm sorry. It was a lady. I'm like, sister, what's happening here? What is this? And we're in the same business. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell is a director of technology? I'm unpacking.
Yeah.
Because our business is very low tech. Turns out the director of technology is just some tech person they call once in a while whenever they have a tech issue. You get a tech person like 100, 200, couple hundred, whatever to fix like a tech issue.
Yeah.
That's their president of technology.
Love it.
Okay. Their director of implementation, that's their VA.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. That's like when I was a dishwasher and I wanted to sound a little more upscale. I defined myself as a hydroceramic engineer.
Or a gas station is I'm a gasoline distribution engineer.
Yeah. Fuel distribution technologist. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I got good news for everybody, bro. You already know this.
Yeah.
You're not missing out on anything.
So let's open this up a little bit because I feel like you have given me something that people really need to hear. I feel like I can't say this enough or from the high enough mountain for people. The shiny object syndrome. First of all, do you agree that I use the analogy that Maslow said famously, which is to a person with a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. The thing in marketing and in the online space is that all these people who have their own unique hammers are shouting at you, right? Talking about how your problems are their nails.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a student, you've got a client, and you're helping them get to 500, 600, 700, $1 million a year. How do you deal with that tendency we have to be seduced by complexity, AKA the shiny object syndrome?
I mean, there's a lot to talk about here, right? I think what's unique about me is I come from I grew up in retail, right? So like now someone who's trying to open a retail store, they're not in our world.
Right.
So they're not getting all this noise.
Right.
You know, it's like, I have a client. She had an agency, a Facebook ad agency. She was doing about 10,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we've gotten her to around about 40,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And she says to me, man, I want to be a speaker. Man, I want to put out a course.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want to do coaching. I said, sometimes, and sometimes I got to slap people in the face with a cold wet fish. I said, we're not doing anything.
Right.
Listen to me. We're not doing anything until you scale this agency to 7 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Until we scale this agency, because this agency can go to 7 figures. We only got to double your revenue right now. Anyway, we've quadrupled it so far from 10 to 40. Now we got to double it from 40 to 80. And we're not going to do anything else. Now let's take a step back. Why did I say that? Could we install a coaching program, speak all this? Yes. Mm-hmm. I want people to learn from my mistakes because I did certain things like I do speaking, I do this. The problem is to really grow, you really need to hyper focus on one thing. And even though thank God I'm not complaining, we do well, but I feel like I have slowed my growth because I'm not 100% focused, because I do some speaking stuff, because I do some mastermind stuff and so on and so forth. But it's not cribbed too much, by the way. But the point is, you really want to grow, you really want to scale, you got to eliminate the noise, both externally and internally.
Right.
And hyper focus on the simplicity of your business.
So let's talk about how we actually do that in the trenches. You know what I mean? You're running toward the prize. You're a soldier in the World War II in one of those fucked up trenches, right? And you got your rifle, and there's just artillery coming in from every direction.
Right.
Your tendency is going to be to look over here, look over there, look over, and pretty soon you're going to be popping up, shooting over here and shooting over there. How do you keep your champion students focused, man? How do you? What does that process look like to return them back to simplicity?
It's a good question. So the ones in my mastermind, they when they get a shiny object, they have to message me. Like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And then I kind of just shut it down. No, stop it. And sometimes they just need someone to be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah. You need that outside voice of reason.
They need that. Sometimes people just want to, dude, there's a lot of psychology behind that. It's like, and here's a good tip for people. Like right now, I'm always trying to give modules to my people, trying to help them become better coaches, like in my course. And a lot of times entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey. Like I'm here at this nice office, but I'm by myself, which is kind of by choice. But I mean, I had a team in here, but I didn't like it. So I outsourced. I didn't like all the water cooler talk. It goes back to focus. I don't know how people in corporate America get anything done. There's so much water cooler talk. It was driving me nuts when I had people here. They kept talking about, and I don't mind socializing a little bit. I'm a social guy, but dude, constantly talking about Game of Thrones or the game or this. And I'm like, oh, stop it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I lost my train of thought, but we're talking about eliminating distractions. Yep. Holistically, what I tell people, and now you see it's popular when people sign up for courses or whatever, what's the first thing they tell you to do? Unfollow everybody.
Yep.
Turn off all distractions. Don't listen to any more podcasts. Don't listen to any more interviews. Stop reading anything. Turn everything off.
Yeah.
Focus on this course. Yeah. And
Yeah.
when I first saw that, because that's kind of a new trend, I didn't like it. I actually just thought it was greedy marketers doing
Yeah.
But I like that a lot now. I thought about it, and I think it's very beneficial.
So have someone ideally who can sort of be your sounding board and reflect back to you the simplicity.
Yeah.
And do you agree too that for me, I think that what I do the same thing with people, more so like, well, I don't have the idea yet, but with your permission, I'm going to borrow it to tell my students, hey, when you get an idea, hit me up first and I'll tell you no.
Yeah, definitely.
So if I can use that, I'll take it.
Yeah, but, dude, don't tell me you're going to say no.
Yeah, right. But I think that one of the big problems is we confuse complexity with progress, right? In other words, the more shit we're thinking about doing, the more we're fantasizing about that killer speaking engagement and all the leads we're going to get from it, the more we're thinking about, oh, at $2,000 a pop, that course that I want to build can, and nothing gets done in a day, a week, or a month, except the brain wheels are turning.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. I think it feels like it's like the saccharine illusion of progress.
There's the very easy way to eliminate that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You got to have a game plan daily.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk into the office, what's your game plan? All right, what do we got going on here today? Now I'm showing a book. We use Asana. By the way, we just recently started using all these. I'm an old school guy. I'm a paper and pen kind of guy. But I do use the notes exactly.
Yeah.
Recently, we switched to Asana, which is like a project manager.
Yeah.
You got to be 100% proactive, not reactive. You got to walk in the office. All right, what do we got going on?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. This way, that every day you're moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
All consistent results. Consistency, bro.
Yeah.
Consistency outweighs like random large actions.
Totally. But now here's my problem. I want to buy into that, but it doesn't look good on my Instagram feed.
You're right.
So
I've lost money. I've lost money because I don't play that game.
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah. So maybe I don't want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe I just want to look like an entrepreneur.
It's interesting, bro. Like there's different crowds.
Yeah.
I don't mess with the newbie crowd.
Okay.
The crowd who wants to get rich quick. They get excited by seeing a Lambo or something.
The Gary Vee crowd.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the game.
Okay. I'm not drawing you into that one. Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, ouch. Sorry, man. Give me a second. I think I cut myself. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I'm not picky on Ty Lopez. I think he's actually a very intelligent guy, but I think a lot of the marketing tactics that I've seen are I don't know, but I don't really follow. You see, that's the thing, right? I try to eliminate the noise. I don't
try to eliminate the noise. Yeah.
Really follow those guys. I don't know but the key is, I'm sorry. I forgot what was the question. I always go on these like tangents, and then I forget what we were.
What we were talking about was.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I remember. We need to understand there's different segments.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who don't have money.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there who do have money. Yeah. I like to focus on people who have something going on because it's easy for me now to coach. I like to work with people who've got something going on, but they're kind of stuck and they need the shortcut to excel from personal, and I can help them from personal experience. But helping someone like UB who's attractive, who's like, the people who want the secret, like the pill, the magic thing that doesn't exist. Like if you're not mature enough to understand that doesn't exist, then I don't want to, we're not a good fit.
Not a good fit.
You know what I mean? A guy said on some social media post of mine recently, he's like, I gave some formula to success. He's like, yeah, but what's the secret? I'm like, bro, here's the good news. There isn't any.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want it to get too sort of self-referential, but I saw that post.
You did? Okay, nice. Yeah,
I did. So listen, I know that giving is a big part of your philosophy.
Yeah.
I'm curious to get your take on, is it more like for you just know that as you give, your life gets better? Or do you have some sort of, can you quantify it in any way?
Very much so.
Let's hear it.
Bro, I understand real estate. I know about crypto and stocks. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I holistically understand I understand them.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. In my opinion, in my experience, the highest ROI I've ever seen in my life is none of that. It's always been giving. The truth is, man, listen, most people are God-fearing, okay? No matter what major, if you believe in any of the major, and I'm not here to preach, but if you believe in any of the major religions, okay, and any major monotheistic religion, they will teach you exactly that the highest ROI out there is giving.
Right.
So it's not my words. It's just something I believe in and something I've experienced.
Yeah. It's interesting. I like that you brought up that every major religion has it. One of the good sort of, like I would think of this as semi-anecdotal, but one of the good ways we can draw wisdom from the ages is, does every enduring school of philosophical and religious thought agree on this thing? Because if they do, there's probably something there.
There might be some wisdom there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat.
Right, exactly. It transcends any given dogma and is just like, hey, you're Indiana Jones. Here's part of the blueprint for a good life. You know?
Exactly.
Awesome.
No, I think it's very balancing.
Okay.
I think it's very honorable in the sense that, listen, I never really had these feelings. You see, these are new feelings for me because when I was broke, I didn't really have much to give.
Sure.
You know, what was I giving? You know, I remember if I went to a community center, maybe I had a couple of singles on me or whatever, you know, like a big donation for me would probably be like $100 or something, you know, or whatever it was. When I started seeing some success and I just started, you know, donating more, these were new sensations because we were actually creating, I mean, how much impact are you going to create donating $5, right?
Right.
We were actually creating real impact. Like we've been able to build wells, you know, like in Africa and stuff like that. So those are new sensations for me. And, you know, it's not God picks people. It's not like, oh, I'm so cool. Oh, I know about persuasion. Oh, I know about coaching. I know it's me. Like it's not. Like I very easily could have been born into extreme poverty in like Africa or something.
Right.
But I wasn't. I was born here in America, San Francisco, California. That's a blessing. That's just God's favor on me or choice on me or decree on me. God has chosen to give us some success. Now, I think the test is, what are we doing with that?
Yeah.
What message are we spreading? What are we doing with that money we're getting? Are we buying Lamborghinis left, right, and center? Or are we trying to make the world a better place? I'm not hating on anybody, by the way, who's buying a fancy car. I have a nice car, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to play, you know, martyr or anything like that. But, you know, I think that I do have a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
That I think that we all should have because we're all very blessed. So yeah, man, it's been interesting to say the least.
So I like what you sort of glazed across there about you don't have, let me see if I can articulate this. You don't have to be one or the other between the Lambo laptop lifestyle sort of posers. I don't know, maybe they're real, whatever. It doesn't vibe with me to be constantly flashing all the wealth. And at the same time, you know, for me, I was born in deep, deep poverty. I was born in real, like I was just talking about this before this interview. You don't get new clothes this year. You know, you don't get new shoes this year. You have to wear the ones that your big brother wore last year that are run down and they're not going to fit you quite right. So anyway, only later did I find out. I was born, as I told you, in San Francisco as well. I was born in a cult.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and one of the things that they were all about was like rejecting everything about capitalist society. And so for me to get to the point where I realized how impactful and powerful and important money is was a long, long journey. And then partway through that journey, I discovered that the cult had a huge bank account. They had this huge bank account and they made all of us kids live in like, you know, like urchins. But so for me, it's very important on a lot of levels. Like I want to be able to give and make a real impact. That's super important to me. I also really, really appreciate my nice SUV. And I don't mean that in an offhanded way. Like every time I unlock the thing, just by walking up to it, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. You know what I mean? And so I want to enjoy it as well.
Yeah. You know, I want to put an asterisk on giving. And actually, this is kind of what my TEDx talk is going to be. Here's a little sneak peek for you. Giving is one of the most beautiful things out there, but it's not. I think one of the most beautiful things about it is that it's not restricted only for like people with money.
Yeah.
In other words, giving is a gift in itself
Mm-hmm.
that we all can take advantage of.
Yeah.
No matter how much money you have, whether you're broke or you have a plenty. The gift of giving, the benefits and the joys of giving can be appreciated by anyone. Now, what do I mean by that? Because I'm trying to clear this misconception that people have. You see, when I say Ross and Rachel, you think Friends. When I say Michael Jordan, you think basketball. When I think ice cream, you think yummy. But when I say giving, people think money.
Right.
And this is the misconception that I want to clear, because the reality is nothing could be further from the truth. Giving is simply uh, sharing your light,
Yeah, man.
because we're all gifted. You are, I am, we all are, and that's not egotistical. That's just a belief that's true. Um, if you share your light, even if you just lend your shoulder for someone to cry on, that's giving. Even if you made your mom smile today, that's giving. Even if you gave someone a piece of advice based off of your light, your gift, that's giving. You know, so what really I find unfortunate is when people say, "Man, I can't wait to have a big business. I can't wait to give."
Yeah.
So, man, you got the wrong definition of giving, because you need to give from day one. Otherwise, you're not going to get to a point where you're going to have a lot of money to give.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that expanded definition of giving.
Yeah.
I think that there's a definite subset of our culture, your and my culture, the entrepreneur culture, who feels like, yeah, I got to hit X amount before I can start giving. You can give generously of your heart, of your time, of your spirit, as you said, of your light, from day one.
Yeah.
You always can.
Yeah.
Let me ask you what's the biggest lesson you'd like to impart? And it could be from any part of your life experience, to people who want to, I want to call it like reach your potential, whatever that looks like for you. Probably for you and I, we're talking entrepreneurs, but just in general, you know what it's like to be here, and through force of will to come up to a new plateau. What's the one lesson you really want to impart to people about that process?
For me, it's easy, man. I think there's a handful of things I could choose, to be honest with you.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think any of them are wrong per se. I'll tell you one that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because I like to think of things. You see, we have a movement, make more, give more.
Mm-hmm.
That movement is not for just the elite, which is why, like, on my stuff, I have affordable payment plans, because I don't want anyone, in other words, it shouldn't be restricted to anyone.
Yeah.
So here's something that anybody can do no matter what stage you're at. Change your environment.
Mm.
Now, what do I mean by that? It's raining outside right now. Well, guess what? Okay, perfect example. Let's just say I lived in San Francisco. It's raining every freaking day over here.
Yeah.
You know what? That rain's no good for me, because what happens is I get depressed. Those big, heavy, dark clouds, and that fog comes on through. And you know what? It depresses me, and I can't create, and I don't feel like working, and I'm just miserable.
Yeah.
I am stuck at that level because it's always raining outside. Well, I can't control that. I cannot control the fact that it's always raining outside. But what I can control is my environment.
Yeah.
What I can't say is, screw this, I'm leaving. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to wherever.
Right.
I'm going somewhere where the weather's a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm just going to go south to LA or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I changed my environment. Now the sun is out. Now I'm not depressed. Now I'm happy. Now I can create. Now I can impact. Now I can cultivate. Now I can make business happen.
Yeah.
I changed my environment. This is an analogy for really changing who you hang out with.
Yeah.
Because definitely when I changed my environment, the people I hung out with, which were all just party animal rock stars, not talking about impact. Yeah, which was basically me too. Not talking about impact, just talking about partying all the time,
Yeah.
which is what we used to do. I was broke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How can I put this delicately?
When I changed that environment, we started talking about different things, such as giving, such as business, actual business, not like theoretical business, but actual business tactics and strategies. You know, once I made a shift in the change of people, and by the way, it's not easy. Like, let me just be like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sell you the 3 steps to change it. The 3 steps anybody can do to change the environment today with no hassle, no stress. Like, it's just not true because it's hard.
Yeah.
But you know, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I had to cut off my friends cold turkey. And it's hard to do that. But I'll just tell you, yeah, it's hard to exercise and eat your vegetables. But dude, I enjoy the hell out of being in shape where I can keep up with my kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy it when I couldn't keep up with them, for example's sake.
Yeah.
It's hard as hell, but but it's really worth it. I'm very good at risk versus reward analysis. So yeah, it's hard. Okay, but the sacrifice is this much to drop your bad influences, cold turkey. But the reward is like this, dude. You can now live like the lifestyle of your dreams. You can't do it if you're surrounded by negative people. You just won't be able to do it. How many people do you know who are rock stars, super successful, and their whole circle of influence is like degenerates?
Absolutely none.
Exactly.
Yeah, the number is 0, unequivocally 0.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, and I speak from experience as well. I had an abundance of negative influences to cut out, and I have cut them all out, and it has changed everything, man. So right on. Akbar, I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to you, and I got to tell you sincerely, I do a lot of these interviews, and like yourself, I'm sure I meet a lot of people online, and I mean this genuinely. I feel the big heart in you. I really do.
Oh, thanks, man.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I would just thank you for coming on.
That's my honor.
Thank you for sharing with people as I expected you would. With that, I'll be respectful of your time and wrap up. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're in my circle and in my orbit.
Yeah, man.
We'll see each other around the water cooler.
For sure, man. I'd love to give a gift to your audience if you'd like.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I mean, basically, we have a book. We cut out a lot of fluff. It's blessed to have it be a bestseller. We cut out a lot of fluff, so it's not that long. 7-figure funnel. It's a funny title. 7-figure funnels that slap you in the face with a cool whitefish blueprint on how to build an ethical 7-figure online business in just 7 online simple steps. Smiley face.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't be afraid of some words.
So that's $47 on Amazon, but I'd love to give it to your audience for free. And they just got to go to 7figurebook.com.
So what we'll do then, I'll circle back with you on stop